Hey tribe. So in this process, we're starting to come to the end of this process that I've mapped out some time ago. And the specific kind of point here is where I realized that as this rebirthing is taking place, I was starting to get a calling to really start looking at how am I going to contribute to the world and how am I going to make a difference. And as the rebirth is happening and the identity death is happening, and you're starting to, almost like this phoenix that is reducing to ashes and starting to rise from the ashes and starting to recreate oneself. This specific point here talks about you reach a stage where you're starting to create and contribute to the new earth. I believe that many people, because I'm being exposed to it and people talk to me about it, is that a lot of people at the moment, their souls are yearning for for a purpose. They want to start living their purpose. They can't put their finger on it. They know that whatever they're doing right now, being caught up in the matrix, just to do the typical, what's the new working hours these days? 7 to 6 every day. And just being in this rut and just going through it, just to pay bills and survive and exist, is not why they are here. It's not working for them. And they're starting to feel this inner yearning, and their souls are starting to say, hang on, I've got more to offer. And many people are talking to me about this urge and this yearning for doing that. What is this purpose that we're here for? And it kind of brought me to this point where I'm realizing that we are in the process of seeing, living, and experiencing a time of a new earth being born and birthed. And the old earth has died. The old earth died years ago in its third dimension, and has already evolved out of that into the fifth dimension. And the fifth dimension is about Christ consciousness, and a lot of people are talking about end times. Yes, because it is end times. And end times in the way that the world has functioned and operated for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And the old ways of doing it will no longer be allowed and tolerated. And we are all awakening on some level or the other, realizing that this is not the way things should be. And we are asking questions, we are seeing things, we are being exposed to things, that we are realizing that there's been a very dark control over us as humanity and so on. And there is an end of times, like as the times as we know it. The fifth dimension is all about love and oneness. And it's called Christ consciousness, is because that's ultimately what, if you believe in Jesus, that Jesus spoke about. But if you believe in other religions, Buddha and, Muhammad and all of these other, let's call them prophets, they all talk about the same thing. They really talk about love and oneness, the collectiveness of us all in this thing called the universe, that our God created, our creator and source energy created for us. And what is my role, and what am I contributing to that? And it's interesting that in these last 2 years, I've had a yearning, although I've always wanted to and have been doing that. I was doing it within a persona that was part of my life. And let's call it the consulting and the business commercial world. And I wanted to just change the world and make it better and all of that. And I just coincidentally did it within companies, because that's what my career path was. But in the last couple of years, I've really started focusing on a different dimension and realizing that I can do it in different ways. And in doing so, it's ultimately got me into paths of different businesses and different dimensions, and dealing with new people and connecting with new people, and starting up new businesses and so on. That's allowing me a very different way of how I can contribute and help create this new earth. And this new earth is really a special place where we are making decisions not just for ourselves, but for everybody else. And we are starting to think about the greater good. And it's really for the greater good on a mass level. And I know some people are using those terms for nefarious reasons. And you'll know when you are starting to vibrate at a higher frequency, and that you're starting to come and operate from a place of love, and self-love in particular, and love for humanity, love for the planet, love for nature, love for animals, love for each other, you will realize that whatever the decisions are that you are making, are those decisions benefiting all of those other entities and elements. And if it does, you know that you're making good or better decisions. If it doesn't necessarily benefit those people, then you know that you have to potentially revisit that dynamic. So as we are all going through a process of awakening in some way, but also many of us are rebirthing at the moment into finding our true passions and our true purposes and what we're really here to do, and starting to switch on some of our superpowers, we will start, and also as we are allowing the universe to flow, and we're surrendering to the journey and allowing our higher selves and our guardian angels to guide us into finding new ways, we are in the process of creating a new earth. And we are starting to share love and light and new ways of doing things, new ways of living, new ways of creating. And you can see that happening around us. It's happening in pockets. And you'll know, when you know, and you know what I'm talking about. If this resonates with you, you'll know that you're on that path. So enjoy that process, enjoy it. And that's why it's so critical for us to really start connecting with each other, because we need to start a new network, a new tribe of people that are like-minded, like-purposed, is a word like that, but we all have a common purpose, and we all are guided by this love and unity and collectiveness to create something special and more and better for everything and everyone. We need to find each other. We need to connect. We need to reach out. We need to have these conversations. We need to support. We need to be there for each other, because everybody's in a different stage of this. But we need to have more compassion and sensitivity for everybody. We need to have more open-mindedness and function from an open heart space. You can't think your way through this world anymore. You have to feel it. And it's so critical to start resonating with people that you feel resonates with you. And it's okay if some people trigger you and some people leave, it's okay. But then find your tribe. So I urge you and encourage you, please reach out to me. If you feel that you are in this process, that you want to do this, and that you've got this urge to share, create, connect, contribute, whatever the case is, into a new version of what we're experiencing, then do that, because we are already anchoring ourselves into a new light, into a new dimension, into a new frequency, into a new future already. And we have to start building on that momentum so that we can start manifesting this new version of what we want our world to look like. And I ultimately believe that will be our paradise. It will ultimately become our heaven, and it will be heaven on earth. And we are stepping in that direction. So forget about the doom and gloom and the stuff that the fear-mongering mass media is trying to control us with, to keep us in this low vibration and frequency. Step up, man. Step up. Own it. Own your power. Own your authenticity. Own your magic. Own your creation. what we have within us, and let's start working together to create the future for ourselves. Right? Again, love and light as always.